Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sanket. In this video, we are going to talk about a conversation history of Agentforce employee agent. So right now, when you and if you clear the history, let's say I will show you. So I'm going to clear the history a little bit. Let me refresh the page itself. So whatever I talked with my agent is now gone. Even though if you have enabled data cloud, assigned the permission to yourself to data cloud, and also you have enabled the agent session tracing, so that every conversation you are doing with the agent is getting logged into data model object within data cloud. So how you make sure that once you have access to data cloud, you can see the conversation history in a proper way. So for example, if you see, I have created an LWC here and created a lightning page called agent session logs. So if you open that page, what we are showing is all the sessions I had with my employee agent in the past. I am displaying here. You can filter between the agents. So for example, if you see here, I had like access to these 3 employee agents. So you can filter between that here. So let's say I want to see all my conversation history with that. You can see a timestamp when I actually talked with them, and you see the target as well. Like I talked it in Lightning Desktop Copilot, whether I did testing in the builder. So you will have, and how many messages each session had. So for example, if I open this, if I click over there, you can see the conversation history. And good thing is, like, you can continue from here. So what you can do is you can just click on continue in Agentforce. In the Agentforce, it will resume from there. So what basically we are doing is we are passing the transcript as a utterance here, and like your agents know what you did talked with them in the past, and it started from there. So how we did that, right? I will walk you through the code basically, but before I jump into code, I want to also show you, like, this is a dynamic loading list here. So if you have like more number of sessions, you can click on load more and load the session dynamically, right? So now let me go and jump into the code. So this is my Lightning Studio where I'm just showing you the code. So we have one LWC component called agent session viewer. So if you observe my page over here, so I have like 2 panes. So in the left side, I'm showing all the session details, and in the right side, I'm showing the conversation transcript. So if you go here, so let me just make it collapsed. So first I am showing a filter here to switch between the agent. So this is where you switch between the agents, and then I'm displaying the count of sessions. So it is like I have total 335 sessions done by me, and then I'm displaying the session list, doing an iteration on sessions property here. So this segment of the UI, and then if you go to write conversation pane, so here, like, if you selected a particular session, so if that has a message, I'm showing the transcript over there. So this is mainly on the HTML side. Let me quickly jump into the JavaScript side. So this here we are using like Agentforce conversation client API to open or execute to open the Agentforce panel or execute an utterance to employee agent. So this I have talked in one of my previous videos. You can go and watch that. I will just, and then we have called these methods: get filter options, get session page, get conversation, get earlier messages, and get all messages. I will walk through all these classes methods in the class. So what we are doing over here is, in the connected callback, we are calling load first page, and this function is calling load page. This is another function where we are actually calling the method called get session page. So this is a apex method we are calling imperatively here by passing the parameter agent API name and offset value. Session controller, uh, yeah, get session page method here. So what we are doing over here is we are using the agent API name and getting the session ID for that particular agent API name. So we have 2 scenarios, right? Like, we want to show all agent session, and if you apply a specific filter, let's say I want to show all these session for this particular agent. So in both cases, so here we are just like we are resolving the name, and what we are doing is we are passing the agent API name and getting the session ID. So we have another class called agent session DML gateway. So we are calling this method session ID for agent names. So if you go to here, what we are doing is we are using this data model object called AI agent session participant. So here what we are doing is we are filtering with the agent type, basically, which is basically here employee agent, and then API name. So we are passing the API name passed in the parameter, and grouping the session by session ID and returning that. So once we have all the session ID, next what we are doing is we are doing some join. So basically in Data Cloud, we have three different objects called AI agent session, AI agent interaction message, and AI agent session participant. So our conversation is distributed among these three objects. Basically, AI agent session is the like parent record which holds the spine of whole conversation, and each message like input and output gets stored into interaction message, AI agent interaction message, like this data model object, right? And then we have AI agent session participant, where we will find information about who was the actual user who did the interaction with the agent. So this is what we are doing. So now coming back to the code. So once we have all the session IDs, we are getting all the sessions. So once we have the session, like we will get the session details from there. But to get the session detail, we are just making sure that sorting it by the timestamp. I want to show the latest message first. That's where like I want to find the in the timestamp on each message and sort it and group it based on that. So once we have that, we are basically sorting those sessions based on the timestamp and returning the result in a wrapper called. So this is a wrapper is defined here. So we are returning this wrapper session page. If you see the definition here, so we have like these four properties. So all the sessions, then if it indicates that whether it has further result or not. So hash more indicates that, and then next offset just tells how many records left, and then total number of sessions. So it returns the result, we just display on the page. And let's say somebody clicked on it. So let's say you selected a particular session. So then it execute this method handle select session. We get the session ID, we pass the session ID to a function called load conversation. This function basically do a call. So here we are doing another apex method called get conversation. So this method, if we go into the controller, so here what we do is we get the transcript of that session basically. So here if you see, we created a wrapper to return the conversation, and then we are calling this method. So first we are loading the participant who all were participant in that session. So let's go to this method first, load participant. Yeah, here. So here we are calling get participant for that particular session. If we go to that method, where it is, I think it is in this agent session DLM gateway here. Yeah, so we are just doing a query on the AI agent session participant DLM object. And then what we do is, let me go back. Yeah, so we build the participant info and then return that data to here, get conversation, right? So once we have the participant info, then we want to get the message count and all the messages. So let me go to first here, right? Message count for session. So again, like we do just another query, where it is in this DLM gateway class. Here just we do the query and then return the total count of that session. And once we have that, what we do is we want to sort the messages, right? Like we want to sort it in order we sent that. So we call another method called messages page in descending order. So I will copy this method name and search AI agent interact message, this particular data model object. So here you will get the message in this field, context text, and you have the details of participant ID, and you will find what was the messages type. So we are just returning it, all the messages, and building this wrapper by like sorting it and then returning the detail. So this is like how on high level we are executing the flow. But yeah, I will deploy this LWC and these three classes on GitHub repo. I will link it in the video. This whole class has like proper documentation and comments properly. You can just read out comments against each method, what each method does. You will find like a lot of helper methods. So, but yeah, on high level, like we use two different methods. One was like to get the conversation per session, and the first one was like to get all the session for a particular agent for a particular user. So this is all about it. Thank you for watching. Do let me know about your thoughts on this. Did you find it useful or not? If you want to tweak it, Do let me know.